Hello, my name is James Thompson, and I am an Aspen University School of Education doctoral student. This course is Introduction to the Dissertation, and we'll be focusing on reliability and validity. The school-to-prison pipeline, which has also been referred to as the school-to-prison link or the schoolhouse-to-jailhouse track, is a method used to fast-track students out of schools before successful completion and into prison. The hypothesis proposed for testing will be whether African American students are considered vulnerable to school discipline being criminalized. The research presented examines the contribution of inequity in school discipline to the total representation of African American students in the criminal justice system, and the reason this is at some level explains the achievement gap between minority and white students that are economically disadvantaged. The school to prison pipeline from education to incarceration. The school to prison pipeline, also referred to as the school to prison link or the school to jailhouse track, is a means used to fast track students out of school before successful completion. Excuse me. African American male perceptions on public schoolings after discipline, a contextual portrait from the inner city. It is a study that measures the perception of African American males who receive punitive treatment by school officials and how this treatment adversely impacted or derailed the course of their lives. The importance. The school to prison pipeline has been a long-standing issue. African Americans are considered targets. This is the focus of the ACLU, and this really highlights disciplinary issues. The school to prison pipeline is and has been an ongoing issue for quite some time. Much research has been developed that suggests its methodology and overall use is aimed at treating African Americans, most often males, and other minority students. The ACLU describes this technique as disturbing national trends wherein children are funneled out of public schools and into the juvenile and criminal justice systems, the American Civil Liberties Union. This method used by the school places students in direct contact with law enforcement as a result of disciplinary issues taking place at school. Once becoming familiarized with law enforcement, many students are consequently and strategically ushered away from the educational environment and introduced to juvenile and criminal justice systems, which they often remain in, often on throughout the rest of their life. This study examines the effects of school discipline on minority students as it relates to this system. In the methodology, the research presented is evidence of a phenomenological study that has been well designed to suit the selected methodology. The method of portraiture has been strategically implemented in an attempt to offer the perspective of sample groups through a qualitative lens on a subject that has confounded society for decades. The methods used in this study were chosen based on their relevance to the portraiture and the qualitative research design using CRT as its frame. The study was theoretically based, which was in alignment with the data collection methods used, which consists of interviews with former students, program directors, and case managers. In addition, another form of data that was used consisted of a combination of case files from schools and courtroom documents, which have been generated over the years and served to capture and reiterate the motives for pushing the respondents out of the public school setting. The data collection methods presented were the most fitting for a study of this nature. The instruments utilized for the data collection were a voice threat recorder, obtainment, and a MacBook Pro for storage. The results. The purpose of this study was to investigate how inner-city African-American male public school students come to perceive schooling, in particular their disciplinary experience and how environmental and cultural forces influence their perception of the school experience. All participants experienced disciplinary challenges in the regular public school system in one form or another that shifted their academic achievement and caused them to get expelled. They all perceived the lack of real care from the school system as a major part of why they were suspended or expelled from their inner city public high school. When one of the participants was asked if he believed that the public high school was generally supportive when things became difficult, Brian said, I didn't really tell anybody about my problems because honestly, I don't care. They don't care what we're going through." And that was one of the students' interviews. Patrick said that he felt as if uh, inner city high school disciplined athletes less harshly than it disciplined other students. He said that from his perspective, in the past situations when football players got in trouble or any other athlete got in trouble, they suffered little to no consequence, but he experienced many consequences, some minor and some major. Raymond based his perception on school discipline in part in the fact that his high school experience was mainly limited to the principal's office because of fights with rival gang members on campus. He had this to say: "School was super dangerous. It was just an open field. Anybody could go into the school, high school and middle school, and do anything. There wasn't really much security, so we fought, smoked, gambled, and did all types of things on campus. If staff or security did come, we would just run away." Raymond said that if schools took proper care, schools would have better security and do a better job making students feel comfortable to attend school and go to class. In conclusion, once public school students interviewed in this study came to school with attitudes and histories that made it difficult for them to focus and make the most of the opportunities presented. The findings of this study suggested that discipline practices made school an inhospitable place to be and learn. And as a result, the African American male participants were forced out of the institutions that were designed to protect them and left them vulnerable to navigating an environment that endangered them. When discipline procedures in a public school setting fell short of being able to support the needs of the African American male students, the link between schools and the judicial system provided more forceful discipline that ultimately pushed these young men back into the public education that encouraged their well-being through alternative school settings. Thank you for taking the time to view my presentation, and attached here are the references used to help develop and support this presentation. Thank you.